Once upon a time, in a small village by the sea, there lived a fisherman named Marcus. Every morning, Marcus would wake before the sun rose, take his small wooden boat, and row out into the deep blue waters. He would cast his net and wait, hoping for a good catch. Some days, the sea was kind, and his net would be full of fish. Other days, the waves were rough, and he would return with nothing. Marcus was not a rich man, but he had enough. He had a small house, a loving wife, and 2 children who laughed often. Yet, despite his simple life, Marcus worried. He worried about the storms that could sink his boat. He worried about the days when the fish did not come. He worried about his children's future. The more he worried, the heavier his heart became. One evening, as he sat by the shore, an old man approached him. The old man had a calm face, deep wrinkles like the grooves of time, and eyes that seemed to hold the wisdom of the ages. "Why do you sit here with such a burdened heart?" the old man asked. Marcus sighed. "I worry about many things. The sea is unpredictable. My family depends on me. What if something goes wrong?" The old man nodded slowly. "I once worried like you, but then I learned the ways of the Stoics, and my life changed." Marcus looked at him curiously. "The Stoics? Who are they?" The old man smiled. "They were wise men who lived long ago. They taught that worry does not come from the world around us, but from our own minds. If we learn to control our thoughts, we can free ourselves from fear." Marcus frowned. "But how? The storms will still come. The fish will still hide. How can I stop worrying about these things?" The old man sat beside him and began to tell him a story. "Imagine," he said, "that you are standing on a hill looking down at the sea. From this height, the waves below seem small. A storm may rage, but you are safe. The Stoics teach us to rise above our problems like this, to see them from a higher place. The storm will pass. The waves will calm. What matters is not what happens to us." Marcus thought about this. "So you're saying I should pretend the problems aren't there?" The old man shook his head. "No, the Stoics do not ignore reality. They face it with courage, but they also understand that some things are in their control, and some are not. You cannot control the sea. You cannot force the fish to come. But you can control how you respond. You can choose not to let fear rule your mind." Marcus was silent for a long time. Then he asked, "How do I start?" The old man leaned closer. "First, remember this. Every morning before you step into your boat, tell yourself, 'Today I may face storms. I may return with nothing.'" Marcus listened carefully. The words felt heavy but true. The next morning, as he rowed into the sea, he whispered to himself, "The sea may be rough today, but I will not fear it." That day, a storm came. The waves rose high, and the wind howled. In the past, Marcus would have panicked, but this time, he remembered the old man's words. He could not control the storm, but he could control his hands on the oars. He rowed with steady strength, and when the storm passed, he was still standing. When he returned home, his wife ran to him. "We were so worried," she said. Marcus smiled. "The storm was strong, but I was stronger." Days turned into weeks, and weeks into months. Marcus still faced hardships. Some days, the fish were scarce. Some nights, the wind was wild. But he no longer let worry rule his heart. Instead, he focused on what he could do: mend his nets, sail with care, and return to his family each evening with gratitude. One evening, the old man returned. He saw Marcus sitting by the shore again, but this time his face was calm. "You have changed," the old man said. Marcus nodded. "I have learned that life is like the sea. It will always have storms, but I do not have to drown in them." The old man smiled. "Then you have learned the heart of Stoicism." And with that, the old man walked away, leaving Marcus to watch the sun set over the water, not with fear, but with quiet strength. This is the way of the Stoic, not to escape life's troubles, but to face them without being broken, not to wish for an easier path, but to walk the one before you with courage. So if you find yourself weighed down by worry, remember, Marcus. Remember that the storm does not last forever. Remember that you are stronger than your fears. And most of all, remember this: life is not about waiting for the waves to calm. It is about learning to sail, no matter how rough the sea may be,